We move on to Richard from South Shields, who's with us on 6. Hi, Richard.
Hello.
Hello there.
Well, there's one person, there's only me.
Yeah, okay, so what do you want to talk about? Can't argue with that.
Do you know the last time I was on last Thursday?
Yes.
Right, I was talking about palmistry.
Yes.
Right. Now, last Thursday I was talking about palmistry.
Yeah.
Well, about the Romans doing the things like, right? Well, palmistry is now all to do with the back of your hand.
Is it? So
yes.
Why is it called palmistry? Because the palm's on the front of the hand.
Oh, well, everything with the Romans, right, they used to build things straight. Do you know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
Now, because the tendons in your fingers and stuff, when you pull them, like, you know, like your wedding finger and stuff, some people can do it so, like, it looks like straight lines. Can
do what? So what looks like straight lines?
Well, the tendons in your hands from the back of your wrist.
Right.
Like, if you look at the back of your hand, which is not your palm, I'm
looking at it.
Right. Do you know where your knuckles are?
Yeah.
Right. Can you actually see the lines in your hand?
Kinda.
Kind of.
Yeah.
Well,
not as clearly as you can round the front on the hand.
They're actually really, really straight, right? Basically, well, the Romans, right? Do you know how, like, you've got all of these curved stuff, right? And you think about things like the way in which, like, a map's done, right? Do you know how you've got, like, 0, and then it's like above sea level and stuff? Now, how did they not have anything with sea level? Do you know what I mean?
What do you mean? Well, how come they didn't have anything above sea level?
No, well, they didn't have anything like sea level. Do you know, like, a map, an Ordnance Survey map? Right? Well, Ordnance Survey maps, right, were made, like, prehistorically. Do you know what I mean? The first thing...
How? Because the Ordnance Survey didn't come into the last century.
No. Well, I was reading texts, right, which are like biblical texts, like, you know, Noah and stuff. They knew all about these things, right? About, like, how like Mount Arafat's been, like, a kind of height and stuff, and they knew exactly how high it was. Now, how did they know that?
Where does it say that Noah knew how high Mount Ararat was? Because he didn't discover Mount Ararat until the boat washed up on it. And to be honest, there's no mention of the fact that it was Mount Ararat, because it was only in the 1800s that they said they found this strange shape on the top of Mount Ararat. Could that be the Ark? Now, that only happened in the 1800s.
Yeah, but I mean...
It didn't happen when Noah was alive, because it wasn't called Mount Ararat then.
No, but it was always a mountain, wasn't it?
Was it? So how did you know that was the mountain that later became Mount Ararat?
Well, it's the same as, like...
Could have been any mountain.
Like, Australia's always there. You can't discover something that's always been there. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but if you're talking about... If the flood did cover the whole of the world, which most people think, well, that didn't actually happen, but if a mountain in the Holy Land was the one that Noah landed on, and it took them 1,800... well, probably about 3,000 years after it happened to actually name the mountain. What's the chances that that's the actual mountain? Could have been any mountain.
Oh, but like, well, if it's biblical text, right, and it's something wrote, right?
By who? In what?
Why, like, well, we've got no actual time of the Bible, right? Like the start of time, Adam and Eve, right? And we've got no actual reference to the point in which Adam and Eve came about. Now, when you get something really big, right, something like the universe, and you've got something like the planets, right? Pluto is the last planet in our solar system, right? If you've got something like the sun, and it's the center of our solar system, right? And, well, I'm a Pisces, right? And I'll tell you this, dolphins, right? Do you know when you train stuff like dolphins and stuff, they already know about stuff like...
Like what?
And like anything, right?
Dolphins know anything.
No, like dolphins, right? I was watching this thing on the television about the whale, right? It come up the Thames and it got stuck, right? Now, you take a goldfish out of water, it's going to suffocate, right? Because the water is there for to make it, because, well, like a mammal, like a whale or a dolphin can't be transported without it being submerged in water. It can't be out of the water for a length of time more than you would suffocate, right? Which is 8 minutes, because you're brain dead after 8 minutes, right?
Right. Well, that patently isn't true, because they've transported dolphins across the country in America for about 200 miles on the back of trucks.
Yeah, but in tanks and stuff.
No.
Well,
being soaked with water in exactly the same way that they tried to do with a whale, but the whale was too heavy for the platform it was placed on, and it ended up damaging itself.
Well, the tail of a whale, right, if you think about its physical structure, right, is the thing that it's supposed to breathe through an air duct, and it's supposed to come up for air. Now, if it comes up for air, right, like a whale comes like up for air and it blows through the air duct, right? Well, if that sort of thing is the thing that the tail of a whale, when you see it swimming, it's the last thing that you see when a whale is going for a dive, right?
Right.
Now, if you think about the nerves of something, you could trap something like an artery in your neck or something, and you could actually stop your blood going around your body, right? Do you know what I mean? Or physical exertion or anything, like you could have a heart attack,
right,
and stuff.
Richard, we've come to the point of the call where listeners are beginning to tell me they're losing the will to live. You started off talking about palmistry, and you claimed that it was here, and you claimed that it was there, and it had all these biblical references, and then you completely ignored it, and you went on to several other subjects that were unrelated. Is there any point you're actually trying to make tonight? I'm going to give you one last go at making a point that makes sense, instead of just linking loads of stuff together like you usually do. Right.
Well, you can quote me on this, right?
Okay, well, I'll quote you.
Today's date's the 27th, right? Of January 2006, right? That's the year 2006. Now, when we suffer things like anything to do with physical torture or mental torture, it goes in your body and your memory. Now, if you forget about all of these things, right?
I tell you, Richard, I'm going to try to. 01914883188. He's just about to head off on another one.